Good day, everyone, and welcome. My name is Dan Sampaio, and I'm delighted to welcome you to today's Mondac webinar in association with Gün Partners for an incredibly interesting discussion with Wewalk's founder, Kürşat, Ceylan. Before I introduce our panelists for today, I would just like to thank you all for accommodating us in our migration over to Zoom at such short notice. Today we have from Gün Partners, Güldeniz Alkan. Güldeniz is a partner at Gün, as well as both a lawyer and a trademark and patent attorney specializing in intellectual property law. Güldeniz will be in conversation with Kürşat Ceylan. Kürşat leads various spearheading projects for visually impaired persons. Currently, Kürşat is the co-founder of Wewalk Technology Inc., which focuses on mobility solutions for visually impaired persons. Today's webinar focuses on the significant role of IP on SMEs growth and tells us the story of Wewalk. It is my great pleasure to hand over to our panelists to begin today's webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. This year, WIPO announced to celebrate the World IP Day by focusing on the role of IP rights on the growth of SMEs. Today, in our conversation, we will focus on this topic as well. We will discuss the significant role of IP rights on SMEs growth with Mr. Kürşat Ceylan, who is the co-founder of Wewalk. Kürşat, we are glad to have you here today.
Thank you, Güldeniz. It's really privileged to be here with you. I'm so excited.
Thank you, me too. Before starting our discussion, I believe our audience would like to briefly hear more details about you and the enterprise that you founded. Could you please tell us more about yourself and about Wewalk as a company?
Sure. My name is Kürşat. I can start from very beginning with my name. And I'm blind from birth. I have one brother. He's also blind. And I studied school for the blind children. It was boarding primary school, and first time I left from my house while I was 7 years old. It was really challenging experience for me. But right now, when I turn back and evaluate those years, I saw this experience contributed me a lot because I built my self-esteem during these years. Imagine you are visually impaired and you need to manage all your personal needs. You need to clean your clothes and also check your wardrobe, etc. And after that, after these boarding school years, I continue with the high school education. It was inclusive education. And then I studied psychological counseling in the university. And I have been as an exchange student in the USA while I was studying at the university. And those years I applied YGA Social Innovation Program. It's international social innovation program based in Turkey, and each year more than 50,000 students apply for this program, and they select only 50 among 50,000, and I was one of these selected students. And as soon as I got accepted to this innovation program, I started to work on technologies for visually impaired people. And also I met with my partners, other co-founders of the Wewalk, at YGA Social Innovation Program. And right now, as you know, I'm the co-founder of the Wewalk. Wewalk is a mobility company, mobility startup, specifically focusing on mobility for visually impaired. And right now we are developing and also selling our first product, Wewalk Smart Game.
Thank you very much, Kürşat. And now I would like to briefly give general information about SMEs' importance in the global economy and the importance of IP rights for SMEs. Today, SMEs are considered to be a central key factor for growth, innovation, employment, and sustainability for society. The flexible structure and adaptability of SMEs are important to overcome economic crises, which are becoming frequently relevant to our daily life. Today, we see that both big enterprises and also SMEs are able to use high-tech machines or any agent of production for their business. As a result, the quality of products is becoming more and more independent from the size of the manufacturer. In today's competitive environment, to make a difference and be able to stand out, a product must have a trademark to certify its quality for consumers. There are many factors, of course, leading consumers to prefer one product or another in the market, but I think that trademarks are probably one of the most important of those factors. So we can say that while SMEs contribute to the economic growth, IP rights contribute to the growth of SMEs. Now, Kürşat, I would like to start by asking you, what is Wewalk and how did you come with this idea of such a device? Are there any other similar products? And if yes, what are the main differences that make Wewalk distinguished from other similar products?
First of all, we need to know that there are 253 million visually impaired people all around the world, according to World Health Organization. And unfortunately, 75% of visually impaired are unemployed, according to European Blind Union. So we believe that we have to change these statistics positively. And the first step of changing these statistics, I believe, is providing full and equal participation opportunity for all. Actually, this is not only my idea. This is the motto of the United Nations Disability Act. So as a company, we dedicate ourselves to solve visually impaired people's mobility problems. And when we look at the visually impaired mobility, unfortunately, they all rely on their white canes. White canes are so productive, and also you can detect obstacles at the ground level with these white canes. However, you cannot detect overhead obstacles, or you cannot get benefits from the latest technologies, because white canes are just plain sticks. And also, we all aware that how fast technology advances every day.
Yes.
We even speak about self-driving cars, you know,
Yeah.
and we get excited about the latest improvements. But if this technology has advanced so much, as a blind person, why should I rely on just a plain stick? And we need to change this situation, and that's why we created Wewalk, because technology probably make life easier for visually impaired the most. Because imagine there is somewhere you want to go, and when you enter it to your navigation, it takes you to your destination. This is an amazing technology for visually impaired. You know, it gives turn-by-turn navigation experience. And as a visually impaired person, I need this experience a lot. However, please imagine yourself as a visually impaired. You are walking on the street and you are holding your white cane with one hand, and you have to hold your smartphone in order to get navigation with the other. Your two hands are occupied, and also you have to manage your white cane. You have to check what is in front of you. Also, you have to listen navigation carefully. This is totally distraction for visually impaired, and it causes really important accidents as well. And also, when we look at all these needs, we aware that this is innovation is the pure need for the mobility of the visually impaired. And that's why we created Wewalk. Wewalk is a smart cane, and it has three main features. First of all, Wewalk provide overhead obstacle detection. As I said, we can already detect ground level obstacles with our white canes, but we cannot detect overhead obstacles such as trees, poles, sign tables, etc. But Wewalk does it. As a second feature, Wewalk can pair with our smartphones. This is so important because with this feature, we don't need to hold our smartphone anymore. I can put into my pocket and I can keep managing all my experience, all my technology needs over Wewalk. So that's why Wewalk increases the safety for visually impaired, not only by providing overhead obstacles, also with the phone pairing, because in the schools, as a visually impaired students, we got trainings about how to use white cane, and during these trainings, we were taught that one hand should use to protect ourselves with some other dangerous. That's why we need to use our one hand to protect ourselves. However, because of all these technology needs, we are using our two hands. But with the Wewalk, we don't need to hold, and we can keep using our one hand to protect ourselves. And also we can keep using our white cane with the one hand. Also, as a third feature, Wewalk can gain new features day by day with the software updates. Right now, for example, Wewalk can give turn-by-turn navigation. Also, Wewalk can give information about the public transportation timeline, because while I'm waiting at the bus stop, I don't know which bus is approaching the bus stop. I need to ask someone else, and I need help. But with the Wewalk, I can get all this information over my Wewalk. Also, as a latest update, right now, we started to provide information about the popular places. While I am walking on the street, I don't know which stores, which cafes I'm passing by. Wewalk started to provide this information to me, and right now Wewalk gives information about the places that I'm passing by. Also, Wewalk has, I can show it to you. Wewalk has overhead obstacle detection sensor here, touchpad, microphone, speaker for the voice assistant technology. Also, Wewalk has gyroscope, accelerometer, compass in itself to provide more accurate navigation experience to visually impaired people.
So I think after all you explained that it's a rather high-tech machine, rather than a cane, a simple cane, I think. Okay, that's great, Kürşat. I know that Wewalk achieved great success, and even Time magazine chose it as one of the best inventions of 2019, and you had many other awards as well. First of all, congratulations for this. It must have been very exciting. It seems like there is more success on the way for Wewalk in the future as well, I think. I am sure that there are plenty of reasons and hard work behind the success of Wewalk, but I would like to hear your opinions on this matter. What are the reasons behind the success of Wewalk?
Today we are talking about Wewalk. However, as a team, we have implemented various technologies for visually impaired before the Wewalk. As I stated at the beginning, as a team, we knew each other from YGA Social Innovation Program, and we met almost 10 years ago, 11 years ago, and that's why we started to develop technologies for the visually impaired. Our first technology was a smartphone application, and we started to deliver intellectual contents to visually impaired community, such as daily news columns, magazines, audiobooks, etc. Also, year by year, we developed really breakthrough technologies for this platform, and such as audio description technology. When we go to movie theaters, as you guessed, there are many silent scenes of the movies. And as a visually impaired person, I don't know what's happening on the screen. And always I need to ask someone else, hey, what happened right now? You know, even sometimes I'm watching the movie to the end, but because of the silent scene, I don't know what happened at the end, you know. So with this technology, our smartphones detects the silent scenes and starts providing audio description at the right time, such as a blonde man came into the room, took the keys, went out back, blah, blah. That kind of audio description we started to provide. And also, after that, we developed indoor navigation technologies for visually impaired. As you know, we use Google Maps or Apple Maps at the outdoor, but since GPS doesn't work at the indoor venues, we needed to develop our own technology. And that's why we developed our own solution and deployed to more than 2 million meters squares, and we made all these areas more accessible for visually impaired. After all these technologies, we focused on Wewalk smart cane technology, and that's why we brought deep expertise in this area. And with this expertise, we started to work on Wewalk technology. And this was the first reason, I believe, the domain expertise. As a second reason, all these needs based on a real insights. I am visually impaired, but also there are other visually impaired in our team as well. And we experienced different problems in our lives, in our daily lives. And just as an example, it was almost 3 years ago, I was in New York to give a speech at the United Nations. And I was trying to find my hotel, like other people, you know, and I was using my white cane with my one hand. At the same time, I was checking the GPS direction from my smartphone. But at the same time, I had to pull my luggage. And I was using these three fingers to pull my luggage. I was checking GPS direction over smartphone, and I was using my white cane. And not surprisingly, all of in this chaos, I bumped into a pole. That's why right now you can see some scars on my front head. And this is not only my problem. I stated at the beginning, there are 253 million visually impaired people. And that's why that kind of problems occur many times all around the world with different visually impaired people. And all of these needs, all of these real insights gave us an encourage to develop such a technology. And during this journey, we didn't develop technology for visually impaired. We developed technology for visually impaired with the visually impaired. This is so important. And we collaborated the most strong blind organization all around the world. Right now, we are collaborating with RNIB from the UK, or we are collaborating Chicago Lighthouse from the USA, and Vision Australia. And all these strong collaborations provided us many opportunities, as well as as well as new ideas to develop our technology. And also, if you build a technology based on a real insights and with the deep expertise, also cause really good results. And thanks God, Wewalk got many awards, such as Wewalk was chosen as a best inventions of 2019 by Time magazine. Also, Wewalk was awarded by the Thomas Edison Foundation. And also Wewalk was covered more than 28 different languages, and it was in the news in more than 250 different sources. But what really matters at the end, the news we got from our users. This is really important. Just 2 weeks ago, an Italian man who is 73 years old, he reached us, and he reached us just to thank us,
wonderful.
because of the Wewalk technology. Also, Shane is a teacher from Ireland, and he reached us and he told his story to us. And he told us he became a blind just 2 years ago. He lost his sight, and he started to participate social life with Wewalk. And all these stories, all these news we got from our users makes us happy and encourage us to do more.
Yes, that's wonderful. Today we see many startups like Wewalk growing to become big companies. And WIPO published an article on its website about this year's World IP Day and gave information about a few case studies on the use of IP by SMEs. One article I read was about Salvadorian women building fashion startups with aesthetic, quality, and innovative products while they were preserving their traditional sewing and indigo dyeing techniques. This article highlights another important role of SMEs, I think, which is their contribution to employment rates in the local areas. And generally, the brands of such companies have important principles, such as being eco-friendly or empowering local women. I believe in today's world, strong messages and principles also affect the brand's success in the market. WIPO mentions that success is largely based on 3 points: design, function, and of course, a unique brand. I agree that having an unforgettable trademark surely affects a product's success in the market. Do you think that choosing the right trademark or defending IP rights from the start help such companies to grow? What are your opinions on this and personal experience with Wewalk about the importance of the right branding strategy for SMEs? How does it affect the success of an enterprise? And for example, do you think the effort you spend on protecting your IP rights affected your brand and product success?
Yeah, no doubt. And it's undeniable fact, defending IP is contributing a lot to SMEs growth and success. Imagine you are building a startup, and what you need an investment. And when you go to investors, they are asking your IPs, because they want to invest something they want to invest something not easy to copy. So that's why if you want to build a successful startup, you need powerful, strong IP rights. And however, from my experience, I saw two main problems building a IP strategy for the startups. The first one is startups, they don't know how much they should disclose their ideas, because startup means you need to tell your stories, and you need to tell your projects. Someone will invest on it. And also, as you may know, in these days, crowdfunding campaigns are getting popular as well. It means you need to disclose your project, your idea, to whole community. And this is the main problem, I believe. As a second problem, yes, having a strong IP and having a strong IP strategy is so important. It's fact, but also it costs a lot. As a startup, how can I manage this dilemma? You know, I need to find a way. That's why this is so important, having a strong IP, but also it has some problems for SMEs as well. Some governments provide some incentives for startups to build their SMEs, and I believe SMEs, they have to be consider all these opportunities and find a way to build it.
Well, yes, I agree with you. But you said it's very important IP, and there are statistics obtained from AUIPO's high growth firms and IP rights study. I just want to share a few of them. For example, SMEs that have filed at least one IP right are 21% more likely to experience a subsequent growth period, and 10% more likely to become a high growth firm. SMEs that file for IP rights at the European level have an even greater likelihood of becoming a high growth firm of 17%. And I think this one is important. The chance of an SME of becoming a high growth firm increases by 33% if it uses bundles of trademarks, patents, and designs instead of one single IP right category. Well, as this study and these statistics make clear, patents, trademarks, designs, and other types of IP play a key role in the success of SMEs by enabling them to obtain a return on their investments in research and development and to maximize the potential of their businesses. I have a question to you now about branding and choosing the right trademark. As you know, a trademark must comply with a lot of aspects. It must be distinctive for the goods or services it will be used for. It should not cause likelihood of confusion with any other earlier trademarks. And also it serves that a product to be distinguished in the market, building a reputation and preventing consumer confusion. So I think it is not easy to choose a trademark for a company when starting its business. How did you choose your own trademark, and what were the main things you considered while choosing it?
Also, I want to add one more thing. A brand mark should be. I think they also create a cost-effective approach for SMEs as well. Because if you choose a really right and cool brand, it helps you to it helps you to create word of mouth marketing as well, and marketing budgets is the most important budgets for the SMEs. So that's why it helped us during the Wewalk journey, I need to say, because Wewalk is really distinctive as well as easy to remember. And that's why we are lucky that we found such a brand, and when we applied for getting this brand, we didn't face any issue. We were, I believe, lucky. And also, while we were picking our brand, we thought that what is our criteria? Because when you sit at the table to find a good brand, you have to find first some criteria. And our first criteria was finding a brand which emphasize team spirit, because we as a team, we believe that having a strong team culture is more important than having a great idea. Because if you don't have a great team and great team culture, you can easily mess up the great idea. So that's why we wanted to emphasize our team spirit. Also, we wanted to raise awareness on community building, and this was our first criteria. Also, on the other hand, we thought that we are a mobility company, mobility startup, and there should be something associated related with mobility, and that's why we finally end up with Wewalk. And we are lucky, as I stated, and our users and they loved our brand. And right now, even they are calling themselves as a Wewalkers, for example.
Ah, that's great.
Yeah. That's why
it has become like a slogan.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, great. So I had another question, but I think that maybe the answer is just no for you. Did you face any legal disputes while registering your trademark? Because well, generally this is one of the common legal issues that small businesses face. They face a trademark infringement case, and or their application is blocked somehow. But I think for Wewalk, it was not the case.
Actually, we faced, because we applied trademarks in many different classes, and we faced some issues, and we narrowed our classes, and then we resolve all these problems. But at the end of the day, right now, Wewalk brand is registered all countries that we want. At the same time, we didn't we didn't face such a problem while we were registering it. However, we faced problem, infringement problem. I don't know, should I disclose the company name right now? But okay, because since you are all lawyers, I'm
maybe you should not.
I don't know, but we faced a problem, infringement problem, with the most well-known automobile, car company, and they are also building, they are also creating technology for physically challenged people as well. And they want to enter US market with their product, and their product name, their brand was so similar to Wewalk, and they wanted to, they reached us, they negotiate us, and they wanted to get permission from us. So we had such a story to protect our brand in the USA.
Oh, okay, it was, yes. You didn't have any challenge to register your own trademark, but you had a challenge with the third party. So
yeah.
Okay. So what should we expect now to see at Wewalk in the near future? Any new innovative ideas? I'm sure there are plenty.
Yes, there are many, and right now Wewalk is a London-based startup, and our HQ is at London, and we have an office in Istanbul and in the USA, San Francisco as well. And we work right now. Our team is 25 people right now, and we are really even though we are a young startup, only we were incorporated 20 months ago. We grow fast, and also we reached visually impaired people. I think last number was 59. In 59 different countries, we reached visually impaired people, and all of our users provide us important insights and feedback, and they manage us. They gave us a direction to develop our technology. Being on the field is so important as a startup, and we are on the field with our technology, and that's why we collected insights. And right now we are trying to make Wewalk a personal hub for visually impaired, where they can reach all sorts of technology and information. And as I stated at the beginning, right now in these days we are talking about fully autonomous vehicles, and our aim is to make fully autonomous blind journey for visually impaired people. When I want to go A point to B point, there are many steps that I need help, but Wewalk is a personal hub, personal assistance for visually impaired, that they can get help directly from their canes. And that's why okay, I mentioned many features of the Wewalk: navigation experience, obstacle detection, public transportation information, etc. But mobility experience, there are many other steps during the mobility experience, such as we also need to give information about closest traffic lights. Where is it? Or we need to provide the color of the traffic lights information, and all that kind of information we are gonna add. And that's why we are collaborating different organizations, blind organizations, as well as municipalities. But also we are not alone in this journey. We are collaborating with the Microsoft. Wewalk is one of the Microsoft AI for Good companies, which means we are improving the AI capacity of the Wewalk together with Microsoft. And right now, especially, we are working on improving the voice assistant capacity of the Wewalk with the Microsoft. And also we are collaborating with the Imperial College London. Since we are a London-based company, Wewalk is supported by the UK government through Innovate UK grant program. And right now we are running our R&D project with the Imperial College London and RNIB in the UK as well. So hopefully in 2022 we will launch really impressive and breakthrough innovation of the Wewalk, and we will hear Wewalk's story more in near future.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. Great to hear, really, this. And maybe it's really related with what you just last said. If you launch a new product in the future, what would be its name, do you think? Will you still go with Wewalk and add something like Plus, Wewalk Plus, or Wewalk Or will we go to another direction and choose a completely different trademark?
This is the most joyful part of developing a technology, because imagine you spent all your nights and days to develop technology. At the end of the day, you are ready to release your technology, and you started to think, hey, okay, what is going to be name of this technology? I like this part most, but right now we haven't decided yet what are we gonna call it, but most probably it's going to be related with the Wewalk.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Kürşat. It was a pleasure to have you here today and to hear about all this experience. Before closing our discussion and looking for the questions we received from our audience, there are many questions. I know that you also have contributions to a lot of social responsibility projects. I think it would be great if you could tell us about those projects a little.
Yeah, you're right. Since Wewalk is a social impact driven venture, we always want to raise some social responsibility projects, and we know that when visually impaired people start using white cane in early ages, they build their self-esteem more. In these days, we all aware what does mean, you know, we all know that what is being isolated in our houses because of the COVID, because of the pandemic. But there are many visually impaired people, and they are mostly isolated their home. And that's why we know and we believe that we have to start providing white cane to themselves in early ages, and then they build their self-esteem with the technology and with the Wewalk. And that's why we started a social responsibility project with the collaboration of Ministry of Education in Turkey. Right now, we are trying to reach 3,500 K-12 students in Turkey. They are visually impaired, and that's why we are we are raising some donations, and we are happy because so far we reached 850 students. And also I want to thank you as well, because Gün Partners is powerful supporter of this campaign, and also we got many demands from other countries as well. You know, in the USA, for example, they are reaching us and they are saying, okay, how can I reach this technology? I'm a student and I cannot afford this, etc. This is not limited with the Turkey, but also other countries, and we are happy to build such a social responsibility as well.
Yes, that really sounds great, incredible. When I hear your social responsibility projects, I want to say that I believe another importance of SMEs is that they are very aware of the problems in the society they are in, and they try to build a better future for young generations and for all of us. So I would also like to thank you for Wewalk's contribution to society as well. And before our Q&A session, would you like to mention or draw attention to any other matter? Sorry, you're on mute, I think. I didn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Actually, I don't have anything to add. However, if there is any question, I would be happy to answer.
Yes, I will just read the questions to you. One moment. An attendee said, what an awesome device is it, Wewalk? Is the IP protected in it? So maybe it's I think the question is more related to patent rights. Maybe I know that you have a patent for the device as well.
Yes, it has an IP protected technology.
Okay. Another question is, have you reached out to any organization which assists visually impaired people in India?
Not really, but we would be happy to keep in touch with themselves if there is any connection.
Yeah, maybe they can send an email to you after. So another question, it's about the branding, the choosing of the brand. Why Wewalk but not We See? So why did you prefer Wewalk?
Because as a visually, maybe it's personal, but as a visually impaired person, I don't like something which refers that I see, because I know I'm aware that I cannot see, this is my reality. I don't have any problem with this situation, but I have a problem about being not as mobile as I have to be. That's why we focus on walking.
Okay. Another one is that, did you have any issue while registering your trademark in any countries in terms of descriptiveness, genericness, in particular for the good walking stick scans? So was it found descriptive for canes?
No, actually, we haven't faced any problem,
rejection,
and but you're right. We need to also focus that kind of applications as well.
Okay. Another one is that regarding your collaborations with Microsoft and other companies, what are the contributions of this type of collaborations to SMEs or to your company, and how did you how this collaboration phase started? Well, did you go to them with your device and ask for help, or vice versa, and how it happens?
Perfect question. Because how it all began, I can start answering this question from it. We applied to their AI for Good cohort, and we got accepted, and we completed their cohort, and we were one of the most successful companies in this cohort. And after that, we applied different programs in the Microsoft. Also, since we were the most successful company in the program, we got attention from the C-level of the Microsoft as well. And that kind of collaborations may have really good results, but also at the same time, SMEs have to be careful, because there are many such programs, or there are many such collaboration opportunities, but most of them, they are not providing really good advantages. They are just giving some mentoring, etc. If you are really early stage startup, that kind of opportunities may also help you. Mentoring is also so important. But if you are a startup like Wewalk, we are about the scale up stage, and we need more than that kind of support. And Microsoft actually provide opportunities in many different aspects, such as they provide R&D grant for Wewalk. This is so important. They are not just providing mentoring, etc. This is real collaboration. also we have an opportunity to reach out their engineers, and also right now we are talking with their engineers how we can build our technology, how we can integrate our technology into Microsoft technologies as well. So that kind of supports and opportunities we are getting, and I hope and I believe this collaboration will get deeper day by day, and we will announce new results.
Yeah, hopefully. There's another question, also maybe a little focused on patents. What was the state of the art before Wewalk? I mean, what was the closest technology to Wewalk before you invented it?
As you guess, before we started to work on Wewalk technology, we made literature review, and we saw that there are many smart canes idea. And when you type Google, you can see all of them as well. But unfortunately, as a visually impaired person, I am saying unfortunately, most of them are just a university project, university student projects. They are not a real real products. And when we made a literature review, we saw there are two different such products, smart canes, and they are providing only obstacle detection feature. And we know that obstacle detection is so important. However, it's not only it's not our only problem. We also need really smart city solutions and smart city information as well, as a visually impaired person, like navigation, getting public transportation information, etc. And they were limited technologies. I mean, you couldn't upgrade your device with the software. So this is so discriminating power of the Wewalk as well. So day by day, we are releasing new technologies with the software updates.
Okay. And there's another one. Have you faced with any infringers, trademark squatters that imitate your trademark?
We haven't faced any so far. However, I know that if your technology and if your brand is as important as how can I say that, if it is important like you know, because Wewalk brand is so important for myself right now, Wewalk technology as well. One day people will start think that, oh, this is really impressive device technology, we need to copy it, and I'm sure we will face one day. Actually, I don't want to face, but this is the reality of the world. But we are, as I said, we are really young startup, only 20 months so far. I think we have some time until we face that kind of problem.
Hopefully for you.
Hopefully.
Because it's not a good thing, I think.
Yes.
I have two last questions, and taking, well, because we are at the end of our time. What was the most valuable legal advice you received in relation to trademarks?
I haven't thought on it before.
Yeah, it's not an easy one.
Yes, it's not easy. Maybe I think as a co-founder, I am really product-driven co-founder. You know, product is so important for me, and we need to develop product always, etc. I focus on this area, and if you are such a co-founder, you don't think that IP is a really important area that you need to focus as well. And for example, we started to develop Wewalk technology, and we started to tell our idea someone, and we are lucky because one of our advisors was a lawyer, and he said that, hey guys, what you are doing, okay, I can understand you. You are super excited about your technology and you are technology driven co-founders, but there is another world out there that you have to protect your idea and your technology, and you need to aware about your IP protection. I think this was the turning point for us, and this advice stopped us telling our idea and disclose it, etc. And we start applying first IP protection.
Yes, as an IP lawyer, I can say that IP is very important. Yeah. And the last question is that, as an SME, what was the biggest challenge for you for protection your IP rights?
Actually, we haven't faced any issue, and we haven't faced any challenge. We are lucky because we are working with you, Güldeniz, and Gün Partners. So that's why we haven't faced. Hopefully, we won't face in the future as well.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay, so Kürşat, thank you again for your participation to our webinar. I also would like to thank our audience because I'm sure they are influenced as I am by Wewalk's story and they asked so many questions. And now I will return to Dan for closing our webinar. And I wish all of you a great day and hope to celebrate the World IP Day with all of you again next year.
Güldeniz, while we are ending our session, I would thank you for inviting me here, as well as I heard some good ideas, such as communicating organizations from India, etc. There might be some other great ideas. If you have, please reach me, and this is my email address, Kürşat@wewalk.io. Looking forward to keeping touch with you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kürşat. Thank you, Güldeniz. I was sitting watching the webinar as you spoke, and as you've mentioned, it was really fascinating to hear all of the different things that go into such an amazing piece of technology. So I'm sure everybody at Mondak will be watching with great interest what the future has in store for yourself, Kürşat, and of course your partnership with Güldeniz. So I want to thank, first of all, our audience for joining us today. As I say, thank you very much for accommodating us in the move over to Zoom today. I hope that you'll be able to join us again for a future webinar. And of course, thank you to our wonderful panelists, to Güldeniz and to Kürşat, for joining us today and taking the time to impart their insights and their knowledge on such a fascinating project. So thank you all very much once again. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day.